What's going on, y'all? It's the kid Jay Nolan here. Hey, man, we got a crazy story to talk about today, okay? So, former NFL player Michael Oher, or Michael Oher, I don't know exactly how you pronounce his name. He was an offensive lineman in the NFL for a few years or so. His image and likeness / life story was also used in a film called The Blind Side years ago, back in I think 2009, I think it was. Very well-known movie, very popular, very sad movie, by the way. However, it seems that the story was not all the way correct, okay? He's got new information being revealed to him as an adult that shows him his childhood was somewhat of a lie. And so was the movie, consequently. So as TMZ reports, they say, shocking allegations from Michael Oher. The former offensive lineman says the family who took him in helped him become an NFL star and was later portrayed in the hit movie The Blind Side, lied to him, never actually adopted him, and screwed him out of potentially millions of dollars. The ex-Baltimore Ravens tackle spelled out eyebrow-raising claims in a petition filed in Shelby County, Tennessee on Monday, alleging that Sean and Leanne Tuohy exploited him for their own benefit after realizing he was a gullible young man with athletic talent. He continues. He says he initially got involved with the Tuohys during the summer following his junior year of high school after he claimed a broken social system in Tennessee left him homeless in need of aid. He says the couple invited him over to stay in their home often during that summer to help him out, and they took him on shopping trips where they would buy him clothing. Eventually, before his senior year started, he says they asked him to move in, right? So this family sees this young boy struggling. He's going through a hard time. They took him in. They housed him. They invited him over for dinner a few times, looked out for him throughout the school year, gave him clothes and stuff. And eventually they say, hey, you spend so much time over here anyhow. Why don't you just move in? The Tuohys did tell Michael they loved him and that they intended to legally adopt him. That's what he said in documents. Michael believed them. He was delighted to be a part of a real and stable family, and he trusted Mr. and Mrs. Tuohy completely. A short time later, however, Oher says that the Tuohys pulled one over on him. According to the documents, Mr. Oher, who's now 37 years old, he claims that the Tuohys presented him with legal papers that he believed were needed to be signed to begin the process of family adoption. Instead, however, he says he just learned in February of this year that they were actually a petition to appoint them as his conservators, which is different from parents. This filing would allow the Tuohys to have total control over Michael Oher's ability to negotiate for or enter any contract, despite the fact that he was over age of 18. He had no diagnosed physical or psychological disability, so there was really no reason that they would need to be his legal conservators. He continues to state, the conservatorship allowed them to actually negotiate their deal with Fox, who produced the movie The Blind Side, which was the movie based on his life. Oher says the Tuohys got themselves and their kids, but not him, a contract prize of $225,000 plus 2.5% of all future defined net proceeds. This movie, in which Sandra Bullock starred in, won an Oscar for her portrayal of Leanne Tuohy, and the movie ended up grossing over $300 million in theaters, plus DVDs and stuff back then because that was popular. Oher claims, as part of the deal with Fox, a contract giving away the rights to his story without any form of payment whatsoever was signed. He says at no time ever willingly or knowingly signing this document, nobody ever made him aware of what it actually entailed. He's now asking for a judge to end this conservatorship so that they can no longer have access to his likeness or his deal or anything dealing with him, as he is now 37 years old and has full cognizance. He's fully healthy, needs no help from them, at least not physically. He's also asking for damages as well as an accounting of the money that the Tuohys made through contracts negotiated on his behalf. It all appears to be potentially a precursor to a lawsuit. Of course it is. Of course it's a fucking lawsuit. Like, come on. Oher has previously been very critical of the actual movie The Blind Side. He says he feels he was wrongfully portrayed as dumb. He did play in the NFL from 2009 to 2016. He started in 110 games in his career as a tackle, so he had a pretty decent career. Most players in the NFL don't last longer than 5 years. He was able to play 7 seasons, probably make millions of dollars or something close to it, but It's nothing close to what they made off of this movie and potentially what they may have done outside of that movie, being that they had his rights. Now, that's just Michael Oher's side of the story, okay? The Tuohys are not going out without a fight. They've lawyered up and they're now putting out some information of their own to defend themselves. They're claiming that Michael's claims are outlandish, hurtful, and absurd. And they're also claiming that he tried to shake them down for $15 million, which I think might be accurate, but we're going to keep moving. They've hired an attorney by the name of Marty Singer, and he said all of this happened recently. And what's worse, he claimed this is not the first time that it's happened. Okay? Mr. Singer says Oher came to the Tuohys prior to this filing, which is a 14-page petition in Shelby County. And he threatened them, saying if they don't pony up an 8-figure check, he'd plant a negative story about them in the press. That's their story. Mr. Singer denied all allegations from Michael Oher, explaining that Sean and Leanne Tuohy absolutely did not trick the former NFL star into getting into a conservatorship when he was 18, as he claimed. However, he does go on to talk about a conservatorship. He says the conservatorship was established to assist with Mr. Oher's needs, ranging from getting him health insurance, obtaining a driver's license to help with college admissions. Should Mr. Oher wish to terminate the conservatorship either now or any time in the future, the Tuohys would never oppose it in any way. That sounds very contradictory to me because that whole petition is trying to get them to end the shit. So why are y'all defending yourselves if he wants to just end the conservatorship? If he came to y'all with that request before, why not just let it be? Sounds fishy as fuck to me. As for Oher's claims that the Tuohys used this conservatorship to broker a movie deal with Fox behind his back, they say that's also BS. The notion that a couple worth hundreds of millions of dollars would connive to withhold a few $1,000s in profit participation payments from anyone, let alone from someone they loved as a son, defies belief. They saying, hey, these people are rich as hell. They don't need the little couple $1,000s that he would have made on the back end from this movie, which I think is some bullshit. But he says it defies belief. Instead, Mr. Singer claims that the Tuohys have received a small advance from the production company and a tiny percentage of net profits. They said that the money that they received, they've always shared with Oher or have tried to share it with him. Over the years, the Tuohys have given Mr. Oher an equal cut of every penny received from The Blind Side. Even recently, when Mr. Oher started to threaten them about what he would do unless they paid him an 8-figure windfall, as part of that shakedown, he refused to cash the small profit checks from the Tuohys. They still deposited Mr. Oher's equal share into a trust account they set up for his son. He continued, unbeknownst to the public, Mr. Oher has actually attempted to run this play several times before, but it seems that numerous other lawyers stopped representing him once they saw the evidence and learned the truth. Sadly, Mr. Oher has finally found a willing enabler and filed this ludicrous lawsuit as a cynical attempt to drum up attention in the middle of his latest book tour. He goes on to say that the Tuohys are heartbroken over it all and they hope to reconcile with Michael soon, though they will not hesitate to defend their good names and stand up to this shakedown and defeat his offensive lawsuit. At this current time, I don't know who the fuck to believe, man, but one thing I do know is what the hell are y'all doing putting a conservatorship over this boy if y'all weren't trying to inherit his NFL money, inherit his life story? Y'all went off and created this movie without him. He didn't ask for no fucking movie, so whose idea was it? Why is he not receiving the profits? As he claims, it just doesn't make sense to me. The man was already fucking 18. What more did he need from y'all after his senior year? He went off to college. He went off to do all of this great stuff. Why did he need y'all over him? Why did y'all need to make profits off of him? Any money that y'all received from that advance should have been his fucking money anyway, because it was his life, his experience, his story to tell if he wanted to tell it. So y'all was dead ass wrong from the jump. I'm just going to say that. Now, as far as y'all housing him, clothing him, feeding him, all that good shit, all this, y'all say y'all worth multi-million dollars. Yeah, the goodwill, that should have been from the good of your heart that y'all wanted to see this boy succeed in life. But why the hell did y'all have him sign these papers? Again, I don't know who's right or wrong in this story. This is probably going to play out in a long, messy trial. So I can't say what is and what ain't. I'm just going to give y'all what I see at face value. And I think these motherfuckers is dead ass wrong. I think they should have been cutting him in on that. I don't know, man. If they had 2.5% of all the profits made on this movie, they made about $300 million in gross. Now, if you just took that 2.5%, that would be $7.5 million. Now, of course, you got to break that down a little bit. So I'm sure there's a couple $1 million that was made in royalties from this movie or in additional profits over time. And he wants that fucking money, as he should, because they shouldn't be making shit off it. All they had was access to the fucking people. They should have worked this out. If anything, they should have took their little 225,000 up front, and he should have got the 2.5% on the back end. Something's just seeming a little bit fishy to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like this family was all the way 100. I don't feel like this story was all the way told the way it should be. I was never a fan of that fucking movie anyway. The shit was too long. I fell asleep about 4 times on that bitch. So, hey, I'm all for it. Get your money, black man. That's all I got to say. Y'all know y'all was dead ass wrong, but you knew it was a play, right? And y'all were doing something that was, on the surface, it was good. It seemed good, but y'all knew y'all had other intentions. So I'm gonna go ahead and bang the gavel on y'all. Pay that man his motherfucking money and let him out that goddamn conservatorship and leave him the fuck alone. Stay out of his life. Let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates, and I will see y'all on the next one, all right? Much love and respect. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace.